Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Today, April 14th, 2025, a 5.2 magnitude earthquake in California again. And you might recall last year in 2024, we had two dates circled for California earthquakes before they happened. We had August 6th circled. There ended up being a 5.2 that day. We also had the first day of Scorpio circled, October 23rd. There ended up being a 4.4 magnitude earthquake that day, 44 days after the state's September 9th birthday. And the reason we had those two dates circled months in advance for earthquakes was because a certain movie star who was in a big earthquake film, San Andreas, was turning 52 years old on May 2nd, 2024. 52 on 5-2. And of course, I'm talking about The Rock. And if you've seen San Andreas, it's about a 9.6 magnitude quake. And in Gematria, San Andreas equates to 96. So we said, look at this. August 6th will be 96 days after The Rock's birthday. Expect an earthquake that day. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, San Andreas equates to 174. And October 23rd is 174 days after The Rock's birthday, and it's the first day of Scorpio, known as the Scorpion, when The Rock was also the Scorpion King. Also, with regards to San Andreas equaling 174, California turned 174 years old on September 9th, 2024. So it ended up making so much sense for that 4.4 44 days later. Well, anyway, today's 174 days from the first day of Scorpio. And here we go again with another 5.2 while The Rock's at the tail end of being 52 years old. So, again, just to go down memory lane, and for anyone who didn't watch the videos, you can go back and watch. They're still on the channel last year predicting the dates that these earthquakes would happen, and they did. And when they did happen, I played the clips at the time. Right now I'm a little occupied because I got Sweet Girl here. Oh, yeah, I got you, Sweet Girl. We're almost done. I know. Daddy's making too many videos. See, I got Sweet Girl these days, but I assure you these are all facts. And I'm also about to come to the point about how I just did the video on the history of the Jesuits and seismology because we're going to make a point about that today. Almost done, Sweet Girl. Give Daddy 2 more minutes. So there you go. From the first day of Scorpio, the day of the 4.4 in California, which happened with 4 minutes left in the day, again, 44 days after the state's birthday, to today, 174 days. Again, that earthquake on October 23rd was a 4.4, 44 days after the state's birthday, when in Gematria, earthquake and military equal 44. You can see how from The Rock's birthday to the October 23rd quake was 174 days. And again, it was 44 days after the state's September 9th birthday. Again, San Andreas equates to 96 and 174. This is the earthquake last year on August 6th. A 5.2 in the Bakersfield area. Again, 96 days after The Rock's birthday. Don't forget how we also predicted the terrible hurricane season last year, synced with The Rock, since he was a Miami hurricane. Hurricane also equals 52. And both Helene and Helen were perfectly synced with The Rock. You can go back and look into that work as well if you're new here. Again, weather warfare is a real thing. Bombs in the ground that trigger earthquakes is also a real thing. All this stuff was told about by many others long before yours truly came around and showed you how they execute it by the numbers. That's what I've added to the story. But yeah, keep in mind, this is all synced with the Catholic Church, who gave us the calendar, the language. We're on a 52-week calendar named after the Pope. Pope equals 52 like Earth. The Pope's 88 years old right now, like California, at the time of these rituals. And remember, without the Jesuits, there is no such thing as seismology. Today's 5.2 in California comes on April 14th, 14/4, like 144. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Jesuit orders 153. Today is 153 days after Arturo Sosa's birthday, who is the current leader of the Jesuits. And if you missed the video I just did the weekend before last, it was about the history of the Jesuits and seismology and how the most famous Jesuit seismologist of all time died at age 72. Again, without the Jesuits, there is no seismology. And they are a military order, and they control this nation's military. And this nation's military is being used for insane purposes, including destroying our own property. And the reason why is because the people at the top, when property is destroyed, they run the banks that give out the loans to the government that makes a profit for them on the interest that we, the taxpayers, have to pay. It is our tax money being used to generate this technology that's then being used against us, that creates this vicious cycle. And people need to wake up, because this is what's going on. And if you don't see it, you're blind. Remember, the Jesuits have the Templar cross in the middle of their logo, and the Templars are the original bankers. So put 2 and 2 together. It's not too hard to see what's really going on. Until next time, Truth Seeker.